Good morning, dear friends. If you're over 65 and looking for simple ways to feel stronger, sharper, and healthier each day, then you're exactly where you need to be. I'm so glad you've joined me today because what we're about to talk about may just become the most important 5 minutes of your entire day and maybe even your entire future. Let me ask you something. Have you ever thought about what actually happens in the first 5 minutes after you wake up? Most people think nothing of it. Just another sleepy shuffle to the bathroom or reaching for a cup of coffee. But according to leading medical research from places like Harvard and the Mayo Clinic, those first 5 minutes can determine whether you'll age quickly or gracefully. In fact, what you do in that short window could either accelerate chronic disease or help you live with vitality, clarity, and independence well into your 90s. And the best part, it has nothing to do with medication, surgeries, or expensive supplements. Just 5 simple steps done right after you open your eyes that can support your heart, protect your brain, keep your muscles strong, and even sharpen your memory. Doctors call it a micro routine, but I like to call it your golden 5-minute morning. Now here's the problem. Most people over 65 have never heard of this or they've dismissed it as too basic to matter. But today we're going to change that. I'm going to walk you through all 5 steps, step by step, with clear explanations, real-life examples, and science-backed benefits. But before we dive in, I'd love to get to know you a little more. What's your name and where are you watching from? Whether it's sunny Florida, the Midwest, or a quiet town in Oregon, leave a comment below and say hello. I genuinely care about this community of wise, proactive seniors who are taking control of their health one day at a time. And if you appreciate practical, easy-to-follow advice like this, go ahead and tap the like button and hit subscribe. I've got many more tips just like this one coming your way. Now, are you ready to see just how powerful 5 minutes can be? Let's begin with the inspiring story of a man who turned his health around at age 68, not with medication, but with a simple shift in how he began his mornings. Let's meet Harold. Let me introduce you to someone who reminded me that it's never too late to feel alive again. His name is Harold, a retired engineer from Ohio. At 68 years old, Harold wasn't feeling like himself anymore. He used to be active, alert, and full of energy. But over the years, things changed slowly at first, then all at once. He told me I started waking up already tired. My knees ached, my shoulders stiffened, and I couldn't focus like I used to. It was like my body was fading day by day. It wasn't dramatic. He didn't have a major diagnosis or emergency, but deep down, Harold felt like he was slipping away. And the scariest part, his doctor confirmed that some of his cardiovascular markers were concerning. His blood pressure was climbing, cholesterol was out of balance, and his resting heart rate was higher than normal. He confessed something most of us can relate to. I honestly thought my best years were behind me. I didn't expect to feel this weak so soon. I started thinking, maybe I wouldn't get to watch my grandkids grow up. But then something shifted. One morning while talking with his neighbor, a retired physician, Harold heard about a simple 5-minute morning routine. Nothing fancy, no machines, no medications, just a few intentional steps to gently wake up the body and mind. Naturally, Harold was skeptical. I mean, what could 5 minutes possibly do, he said. But he gave it a try. After all, what did he have to lose? And that's when everything changed. Within just 2 weeks, Harold noticed he was waking up with more energy. His joints felt looser. His mind was clearer. He wasn't gasping for coffee to get through the morning anymore. 6 months later, during a routine checkup, his doctor was stunned. His blood pressure had stabilized. His cholesterol dropped into a healthy range. His EKG looked remarkably better. Harold's doctor actually told him, "Your health markers look more like a 55-year-old than a man pushing 70. Now, Harold walks every morning. He plays catch with his grandkids. He cooks breakfast with his wife again. And most importantly, he wakes up feeling young, not just in body, but in spirit. I feel like I've been given a second chance, he told me. And here's the truth. It all started with those same 5 small habits that we're about to walk through together, ones that Harold followed, and ones that you can start tomorrow morning. Let's start with the first step of his transformation, what he drank the moment he opened his eyes. You might be surprised how 1 glass of water can make all the difference. Let's begin where Harold began, with a glass of water. Not a miracle pill, not a health tonic, just simple water, and when you drink, it makes all the difference. Now here's something most people over 65 never think about. When you wake up in the morning, your body's already deeply dehydrated, even if you don't feel thirsty. Why? Because while you're asleep, you lose almost half a liter of water through breathing, sweating, and simply being alive. That's a fact backed by multiple studies from Harvard Medical School and the Cleveland Clinic. And that dehydration isn't just about dry lips or feeling a little tired. It thickens your blood, increases strain on your heart's slow circulation, and elevates the risk of something no one wants to hear: early morning stroke or heart attack. Yes, research shows that most cardiovascular events in older adults occur within 1 to 2 hours after waking up. That's when the heart is under the most pressure and the vessels are the most constricted. But here's the good news. You can help prevent this cascade from happening by doing something beautifully simple. As soon as you open your eyes, before coffee, before breakfast, before even getting out of bed, drink 1 full glass of room temperature water. That's about 16 ounces or 480 milliliters. And for an extra boost, squeeze in 1/4 of a fresh lemon. Why room temperature? Because cold water can cause blood vessels to constrict, slowing circulation at a time when your body needs blood to flow freely. Room temperature water, on the other hand, helps gently open your vessels and support better blood flow to vital organs, especially your brain and heart. And the lemon, it's not just for flavor. Lemon contains natural electrolytes, potassium and vitamin C. These help soften and relax arterial walls, gently regulate blood pressure, provide a mild anti-inflammatory effect, support liver and digestive function. Think of this glass of water as a morning handshake with your heart, a way to say, "Good morning, I'm here for you today." Harold swore by this ritual. In fact, he kept a water bottle by his bed every night to make sure he did it before his feet even touched the ground. He told me that small change made me feel like I was in control again. It was empowering. And you know what? He's right. Because this one tiny habit, if done daily, can dramatically support circulation, cognitive alertness, metabolism, heart health. It's also an incredibly easy win to build momentum for the rest of your day. When you start your morning with intention, the rest tends to follow in a better direction. So tonight, before going to bed, place a glass of clean water or a refillable bottle on your nightstand. Add a lemon wedge beside it. Tomorrow morning, make it your first step toward better aging. Because it's not just water, it's a signal to your body that you care. Now that your system is hydrated and ready, let's move on to what happens next: waking up your blood flow before you even reach the kitchen. It only takes 60 seconds, but the impact is powerful. So your body's now hydrated. That's the fuel. But what about the engine? Because here's what most people don't realize. Even after you drink your morning water, your blood flow is still sluggish, especially if you're over 65. You've been lying down for 6 to 8 hours. That means blood has pooled in your lower body. Your heart has been beating slowly. Your muscles haven't moved. And as soon as you stand up, your brain is suddenly begging for oxygen and circulation. But instead, what happens for many seniors? They feel dizzy, lightheaded, wobbly, and sometimes they fall. According to a study from Johns Hopkins University, the first 2 minutes after standing are when older adults are most vulnerable to drops in blood pressure and oxygen delivery to the brain. That's when small vessels are still tight and the body hasn't fully switched on. So how do we fix that? The answer: a simple 60-second circulation reset done right after getting out of bed. It's gentle, it's easy, and it can increase blood flow to the brain by over 40%, according to Dr. Eleanor Thomas, a geriatric circulation specialist. Harold started doing this the same week he began his hydration habit. He said, "Before, I used to feel a bit off balance in the morning, but after adding this 1-minute movement, I felt grounded, stable, and alert." Here's exactly how to do it. The 60-second morning circulation reset: stand upright beside your bed. Keep your feet shoulder-width apart. Now follow these steps slowly and mindfully. Inhale deeply through your nose as you raise both arms straight up toward the ceiling. Exhale slowly through your mouth as you lower your arms back down to your sides. Repeat this 2 to 3 times to open up your chest and stimulate blood oxygenation. Roll your shoulders backwards 5 times slowly and with control. Then roll them forward 5 times. This activates circulation in your upper back and neck areas, often tight in the morning. Heel raises: lift both heels slowly off the ground while keeping your toes planted. Hold for 2 seconds, then lower. Repeat 10 times. This pumps blood from your legs back to your heart. And that's it. All of this takes less than a minute. but the benefits are lasting, improves balance and coordination, increases mental clarity, reduces risk of morning falls or dizziness, supports heart and brain health first thing in the day. Dr. Thomas often says, blood that sits is blood that clogs. Blood that moves is blood that heals. And it's true, when you give your body that signal to move, everything else wakes up with it. Harold told me it was his favorite part of the routine because it made him feel awake without coffee and alive without pills. So tomorrow morning after your lemon water, take just 60 seconds to move with purpose. Breathe, stretch, pump. It's your way of saying, I'm here, I'm ready, let's go. And once your heart is pumping and your blood is flowing, it's time to feed your muscles before they begin feeding on themselves. Let's talk about the protein timing secret that could save your strength after 65. Now that your body's hydrated and your circulation is flowing, let's talk about something that's quietly vanishing in millions of older adults, and most of them don't even notice until it's too late. Muscle. Yes, muscle. After age 60, we start to lose muscle mass at a much faster rate, especially if we don't eat protein early in the day. This process is called sarcopenia, and it affects strength, posture, balance, and even immune function. And here's the surprising part: even if you eat enough protein during lunch or dinner, you could still be losing muscle every morning. Why? Because according to research from the National Institute on Aging between 3 a.m. and 8 a.m., the aging body enters a natural catabolic phase, a state where it begins breaking down its own muscle tissue for fuel. If you don't interrupt that process by consuming high-quality protein, within 30 minutes of waking, your body keeps breaking down the very tissue that keeps you standing, walking, and living independently. Harold didn't know this either. Before changing his habits, he'd skip breakfast or just have a piece of toast with coffee. He thought he was doing fine, but when he started adding protein first thing in the morning, everything changed. Within weeks, I felt more solid. My back didn't ache as much, and I had fewer dizzy spells during the day, he shared. So what exactly should you do? Within 30 minutes of waking, aim to consume about 25 to 30 grams of protein. That's the sweet spot shown in studies to preserve lean muscle and support overall health. Easy protein options you can try: a scoop of whey protein powder mixed with water or milk, 4 to 5 egg whites with 1 whole egg, a cup of Greek yogurt, add fruit or chia for fiber, soft tofu or cottage cheese for lighter vegetarian options, plant-based protein shakes made with pea and rice protein. The key is not just what you eat, but when you eat it. Your body is most receptive to rebuilding muscle right after waking, when hormones like cortisol are naturally high, and insulin sensitivity is better. This timing can help improve muscle retention, boost mobility and energy, reduce falls and fractures, support immune and metabolic health. One of Harold's favorite tricks was prepping a shake the night before and keeping it in the fridge. That way, no matter how rushed the morning was, he had no excuse to skip it. And here's something he told me that stuck with me. I thought my body was just getting older. Turns out it was getting neglected. You see, losing muscle isn't just part of aging. In many cases, it's a result of missing habits that can be corrected. So tomorrow morning after your water and your 60-second movement, feed your muscles. They've worked hard for you your whole life. It's time to give back. And now that your body is nourished and energized, we need to make sure it can actually move without pain. Let's talk about the one thing that prevents countless injuries and helps seniors feel young in their joints again. Now that your muscles are fed and your body is energized, there's one more piece of the puzzle we can't skip: your joints. Because here's a hard truth: many older adults lose their independence not because of disease, but because of stiffness, immobility, and falls that could have been prevented. After the age of 65, our synovial fluid, the natural lubricant inside our joints, begins to thicken overnight, especially during long periods of inactivity like sleep. That means your first steps in the morning are often made with cold joints, stiff, dry, and prone to friction. And friction leads to pain, microtears, inflammation, and over time, things like chronic arthritis, limited range of motion, and dangerous falls. According to orthopedic specialists at the Mayo Clinic, just 90 seconds of light joint mobility every morning can drastically reduce these risks. And it's not about pushing hard or stretching like a gymnast. It's about gently waking up the body joint by joint with purpose and care. Harold used to skip this part. He thought his morning ache was just normal aging. But when his doctor explained the science behind morning stiffness, he decided to try it. It took less than 2 minutes, but I could feel my body loosen up, and by the end of the day, I wasn't dragging my feet anymore, he told me. Let me walk you through what he did. The 90-second joint mobilizer routine. Do this right after your circulation reset and protein intake while your body's already warmed up. Ankle rolls. Sit on the edge of your bed. Lift one foot and rotate your ankle 10 times clockwise, then 10 times counterclockwise. Repeat with the other foot. This improves ankle flexibility, which is key for balance and walking stability. Knee circles. Stand gently, placing hands on knees. Slowly rotate your knees in small circles 10 times in each direction. Helps reduce knee stiffness and supports cartilage lubrication. Side-to-side leans. Holding onto the back of a chair or your bed frame, gently lean your upper body side to side 5 times on each side. Loosens the spine, improves torso flexibility, and strengthens lateral stability. Torso twists. Standing upright, slowly twist your torso to the left and right. 5 times each side. Encourages spinal mobility and relieves lower back tension. Shoulder rolls. Finish with 10 slow shoulder rolls going backward. Releases tension in your upper back and neck, especially helpful if you sleep curled up or on one side. This short sequence lubricates your joints, improves flexibility, reduces the risk of slips and strains, boosts confidence in movement. It's one of the most overlooked steps in a senior's morning, but it might just be the one that keeps you walking independently years longer. Harold eventually made this a bonding routine with his wife. They do it together each morning before breakfast. It gave us a sense of rhythm, he said, not just in our bodies, but in our marriage too. So if you've ever felt stiff or unsure on your feet in the morning, start here. 90 seconds of movement, no equipment, just you and your body. And now that your joints are free, there's one final piece left, your most powerful organ, your brain. Let's explore how to wake up your mind with clarity, memory, and focus in just 1 minute. We've taken care of your heart, your muscles, your joints, but now we come to the most powerful organ of all, your brain. Because what's the point of a strong body if your mind feels foggy, forgetful, or out of focus? Too many people assume that memory loss and slower thinking are just part of getting older. But modern neuroscience tells a different story. Your brain can remain sharp and adaptive well into your 80s and 90s if you give it the right stimulation. And here's the best time to do it: within the first 30 minutes after waking up. According to research from the Brain Longevity Center at Stanford University, your brain in the morning is like a fresh canvas. The neurons are more alert, the mind is more open to creating new pathways, and one specific compound called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, is especially active. Think of BDNF like Miracle-Gro for your brain. It helps preserve memory, improve focus, and even fight off cognitive decline. And the best way to stimulate BDNF, not puzzles, not apps, but a simple mental exercise called reverse recall. Harold laughed when he first heard about it. You mean I just sit and try to remember what I did yesterday? That's it. Yes, that's it. And it works. The reverse recall technique. Your 1-minute brain booster. Here's how it works. After completing your mobility sequence, find a quiet spot. Sit down comfortably. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply once or twice. Begin thinking about your yesterday, but in reverse. Start with what you did in the evening, maybe dinner, brushing your teeth, the TV show you watched. Then go to the afternoon, then the morning. Try to mentally walk backward through your day. What did you eat for lunch? Who did you speak to? What did you wear? What errands did you run? As you improve, challenge yourself to add details, the colors of clothes, the taste of your food, the weather. Do this for just 60-90 seconds. That's all it takes to wake up your hippocampus, stimulate attention, and trigger memory consolidation. According to multiple studies, seniors who practice short-form recall exercises daily show better short-term memory, greater ability to focus throughout the day, slower progression of age-related cognitive decline, increased confidence and emotional stability, Harold said. After 2 weeks, he started remembering names faster and stopped walking into rooms and forgetting why. It was like someone turned the lights back on in my head, he told me. But more than that, he felt present, more in tune with his life, more aware of how each day unfolded. And the beautiful part, it requires no phone, no pen, no tech. Just you, your breath, and your memories. So tomorrow morning after you hydrate, move, nourish, and stretch, give your brain 1 minute of thoughtful attention. Because clarity isn't something we lose, it's something we stop nurturing. And now you have the tools to protect it. Now that you've completed all 5 steps, it's time to bring it all together. Let's take a final look at how these simple actions can completely transform your mornings and possibly add years of strength, independence, and joy to your life. And there you have it, my friend. 5 simple steps, 5 minutes, and a completely different way to begin your day after 65. Let's take a moment to recap everything you've just learned, not as a checklist, but as a new rhythm for your morning and maybe for the rest of your life. Your golden 5-minute morning routine. Hydration reset. A glass of room temperature water with lemon to wake up your heart and protect your circulation. 60-second circulation boost. Gentle movement to pump oxygen to your brain and reduce stroke risk. Protein timing rule. A powerful breakfast habit to preserve muscle strength and energy throughout the day. Joint mobilizer sequence. 90 seconds of movement to reduce stiffness, prevent falls, and maintain mobility. Brain activation exercise. A minute of mindful recall to sharpen your memory and support long-term brain health. When you string these together, you don't just feel better physically, you start the day with intention, with clarity, and with a sense of purpose. And that more than any pill or supplement is what keeps people young. You see, aging doesn't happen all at once. It happens in the mornings we ignore our body, in the routines we skip, in the stillness we let become stagnation. But just the same, vitality, strength, and longevity also begin in the mornings. When we take a few small steps to say, I still care for this body, I still believe in this life, and I still have something to look forward to. Harold's story is not unique because of the results he saw, though they were impressive. It's unique because he chose to do what so many don't start again, with something simple. And now it's your turn. Tonight, as you prepare for bed, think about the 5 steps you'll take tomorrow morning. Maybe you'll begin with just that glass of water, or maybe you're ready to commit to all 5. There's no wrong place to begin. There's only one thing to remember: begin. And if this video resonated with you, if you felt a spark of possibility, of motivation, or even just curiosity, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, which of these 5 habits will you try tomorrow morning? If you found value in this, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with a friend or loved one over 60 who might need a little morning inspiration. You never know, you might be giving someone else a second chance at strength and joy, just like Harold got. And I'll be right here cheering you on every step of the way. Until next time, take care of yourself. Wake up with purpose, and never underestimate the power of 5 minutes well spent.